All right, another cool trick you can do with the SRAM force derailleur is this actually comes stock with a cable pulley that is not this one. So this is what comes stock on the XX1, X01 derailleur for mountain bikes. And why this doesn't come stock on the force derailleur is beyond me, because the other fin that comes on here is stupid in my opinion. And it's stupid because it causes you to have to route the cable, and I'll flash a picture on the screen here because I don't have one, but it essentially, the cable has to be routed around in a big loop like this so that the cable doesn't kink, and then it comes directly in the backside of the original fin, and then goes down to this pulley fin right here, which is what gives you the pull ratio from the actual lever. But the big thing is that original fin, you have to route the cable in a big loop. And so there's like a ton of extra cable here because that cable has to come in the back and then route like from the back, just the way the fin is designed, because there's a barrel adjuster right here, and then that cable comes directly into the barrel adjuster at like exactly perpendicular like this. But that can be replaced. That original pulley that comes on here is basically held on by 2 bolts, and it goes, there's one on the top side and one on the back side that mounts into that hole right there. It's the exact same thing with this fin. You can buy these fins, well, you can get them off of like an old derailleur that you may have, like an X61 or an X01 derailleur, if you have like a spare parts bin at your bike shop or something. But you can also just buy this fin on eBay for like 20 bucks. Or the pulley system. It's held on by 2 bolts, this one on top, and then the other bolt goes on the bottom right there. Oops. And then you just crank that together and then you have it rerouted. Now, one thing to note is that when you originally pull the original derailleur off, or the original fin or routing system, whatever you call that piece, the cable guide is essentially what it is. This piece right here will have a little rubber grommet in it, because obviously the force one comes stock with the other one, so it's not meant, the cable's not meant to be routed through this hole. So there'll be like a little rubber grommet there. That is where the cable comes in if you have this pulley on there. So you'll have to pop that little rubber grommet out with a, like a 2 mil or something from the other side. Just stick this guy, oh, that's too big, but you just stick like a pin in the bottom side, or just like a 2.5 mil, and then pop the little rubber grommet out, then pop the fin on there, and then put your mounting bolts on, and then screw those 2 bolts together. Super simple. Now, one additional thing you can do is that these pieces come stock as plastic. So let me get this bolt out. This piece is going to remain plastic. This is like the main housing that holds the pulley. But this pulley, in whatever system you buy from SRAM, if it's like a SRAM OEM one, this comes stock as plastic. You can actually replace this with a CNC aluminum piece, which I think is like, you can get these on eBay for, I don't know, $9 or something like that. It's not that expensive. But the reason you'd want to use this as opposed to the plastic is because over time, the cable will eat a groove into the plastic. And it's kind of hard to see on this one, but this one is fairly used. But there is a small divot in the plastic due to use on this one. So you can just, it's a super simple upgrade. It's extremely cheap, and it's very easy to do. So why wouldn't you? Because with this aluminum one, you're not going to have the issue with the cable cutting a groove into it. So that is another hack you can do with your derailleur there. And then also, just always be sure to grease these pieces, because people put things together on the bike and they don't grease them, and that causes problems. Grease solves a lot of things. Just grease the inside of this, because obviously this doesn't sit on a bearing. This is just a bolt that this rotates around. It's not a bearing. So, you know, just grease the inside of that, grease the bolt, and this will rotate a lot more freely and a lot more easily when you put this together, and actually cable up your bike. So that's super simple upgrade. Just thought I'd show you.